My name is Casey, and I'm the Rumble Right Dad, and I'm trying to help us fight for a better future, a better tomorrow for our kids as dads because we've been stomped on, messed with, and put down by society. And one of the ways that we can protect our kids and watch over them to the utmost is protecting what they put in their eyes. So my kids went to see Moana 2 in the last couple days as a reward for their new baby sister that's going to be born in the next couple days. Here's what I found out about the movie, and I rate its wokeness scale at the end of this review. If I can earn your subscription today, please like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Firstly, Moana, the first edition, was such a great storytelling, unique structure, unique ethic, because it was an original, essentially, I'm sure, based on another story that was authored previously. However, it had a lot of good elements, a lot of good character development. The second movie seems an extension of that, but does not bring anything creative and unique, and in fact had some weaknesses. Firstly, the music wasn't as good. We noticed not as much traditionally themed music, some new kind of bops that I found to be a little wanting. Also, jokes, not the greatest. So let's read from the Collision, which is a Christian review website. They say, it's wholesome and enjoyable, but in general, Disney fails to bring home some of the elements that were present in the original. So that includes, they don't really introduce any new characters, and the best characters were the ones from the first one, which don't have as much interaction with the themes of the movie as you would like. They do bring along some androgynous young lady, some girl boss themes that in general are good for our girls to be empowered, but aren't the greatest for any of the boys that might be in the audience, although Moana probably commissioned more towards girls than boys. By the way, when was the last time that Disney wrote a story where there was a hero who was a boy that was actually fruitful? Maybe Coco. I don't know. He didn't really step into his manhood in any way. So I guess for Disney's sake, it's still not acceptable to be a strong man. Although they do have the character Maui in the story, but of course he has some struggles. He's a bit conflated with duality, whereas Moana is ever present, ever optimistic, ever gracious. Maui is more complicated. So boys bad, girls good. That at least goes on my list a little bit. And that's just a personal gripe because every Disney movie in the last several years has done this. So the themes of the movie are like collectivism, unity, which in general is good. There's the unity of Moana with the crew on her boat, generically good. There's also sort of a bromance, which is kind of like a mentor bromance between Maui and the younger man. But in general, the men on the boat are kind of weak, feckless. They end up being needed to be encouraged by Moana to even press forward. So in general, there's not a lot of male strength, as I said. There is one song that's presented by what we believe to be a villain at the time. They bring back sort of the Frozen and Frozen 2 arc of a villain actually being, somebody that you can relate to. So they're trying to erase the boundaries between good and evil a little bit. And they bring a song in called Cut Loose. And that might not be the name of it, but that's the theme, is to cut loose and just let go and just, fall into the hole and see what happens, which in general, that's not the greatest wisdom for kids. They're loose enough, maybe a little bit of discipline is good. A little bit of authority is good. In general, I give the whole of the movie a woke score of 2 out of 10. So not terrible. There are some just lack of male authority, lack of themes that have anything to do. And also, from a biblical perspective, they don't really bring in anything that would be completely antithetical to what the Bible says. But of course, there are like mythology and teachings about good and evil that are more based around the Moana story. That's to be expected. If you saw the first one, that shouldn't surprise anybody. So woke score, 2 out of 10. Not the worst. Thank you, Disney, for not being so woke that I had to vomit in the theater. Okay, let's look at the strengths of the movie. In general, there is very little wokeness, very little themes that I would say are more present and ever present in more recent Disney movies. There's not like the 7 dwarves being turned into 7 unusual people or anything like that, which they tried to press forward in Snow White. There are some member berries. There are some songs that bring back the music from the original, which is optimal. That those were the best songs by far, and it held our attention. So if I have three kids that I took to the movie, and my wife is about to have our fourth. Our 3-year-old, our five, soon to be 6-year-old boy, and our 8-year-old girl all enjoyed it. It held all of their attention. And of course, a lot of that is because of the beautiful pictorials that happen. And, you know, in general, the storyline. My 3-year-old, she's very sensitive to like scary images. She really didn't get scared too much. She said one time, maybe this is a little scary, which she says that a lot. So, not a big deal there. The best music in general was the more traditional music. They only brought that back for a couple instances, but I would say that's also a strength.